Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Edge Sports Network. We got another interview for you guys today, part of our summer series. We got Jayce Johnson, Middle Tennessee men's basketball. Jayce, thanks so much for joining us here on the site today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Glad to have you on. I want to start here. We're in a pretty unique time in sports right now with this pandemic going on. How's everything been for you? How have you kind of been staying busy during this time, keeping up with workouts and whatnot?
It's been definitely an odd time,
Mm-hmm.
but a fun time figuring out just times to get in the gym. Like when I go back home, I got two of my guys that are Division I players, Devontae Gaines at UT,
Mm-hmm.
and then Takel Mosin at Seton Hall. We get in the gym and work out together. We've been doing that for the past 2 years now, so
Mm-hmm.
that hasn't really changed much for us. So when I go home, I get to work out with those guys. And then when I'm in Murfreesboro, I get to get in the gym by myself and get some shots up like that as well.
Oh, for sure. It's nice to kind of stay in a routine right now in this time. So glad to hear that you've been kind of doing well with everything, keeping things relatively normal. That's always good to hear. I know this past year, you are coming off a really nice season here. Average 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists per game. Increase in averages of all three of those stat categories compared to your first year. So how'd last offseason look to kind of make that jump in your sophomore season?
Last year, I kind of it was my freshman year was a lot of fun for me. Playing playing so much time at the high level. I didn't even know I
Mm-hmm.
was playing basketball going into leaving my high school. So
Mm-hmm.
it was real fun. And then coming into the off season, I kind of started to understand the speed of the game and where I could work on and shots that I could get off or what I needed to really to just keep on pushing my game, and that kind of came out in effect my sophomore season.
For sure. And I know, as you mentioned, you've got a lot of playtime here so far in your first couple years. And as you said, you weren't even supposed to play basketball coming out of high school. I know you had committed to Wagner to play football. What kind of led you to make that switch?
Well, it was kind of just I was committed all throughout the winter,
Mm-hmm.
and then going into the spring, my friends had asked me to come play AAU with those guys. We have been playing AAU for probably 6 or 7 years
Mm-hmm.
for the 6 7 summers. So it was like it's our last year all together. You got to come out and play. And then I just started getting a little buzz. So I decided I was gonna decommit from Wagner, and then literally the next weekend, NT offers me, and I took my visit and committed right after that. And I've been happy with my decision ever since.
It's worked out well for you. I'd say you made a pretty good decision. So far, so good over at Middle Tennessee. And I know, you've got a lot of playtime in your first couple years. It's not something every guy really gets headed into a college program that early. You played in 62 games throughout your freshman and sophomore season here. How's that really kind of helped you, just ability-wise and confidence-wise, getting that much opportunity in a D1 program?
I would say just knowing what I'm good at and not trying to, of course, working on things in the summer and trying to keep on expanding your game, but also knowing where you can help the team,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be in rebounding or just a couple more box outs or wherever it may be. Just little things like that just can keep you on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of always been good at doing those things just all throughout playing basketball, all throughout my years. So just continuing to do that, and then, like I said, continuing to expand my game as well, so
Mm-hmm.
that I can be an even better contributor and lead to even more playing time.
Oh, for sure. And I know, kind of making that transition from high school to college is always pretty tough. You've seemed to adjust it well. I know it might be even a little bit tougher when you kind of had the path that you took where you were committed to play football, switched it up, now you're playing basketball. How was that transition for you from high school, to college between high school basketball, AAU basketball, and then eventually playing D1 basketball? Did you find it to be kind of easier or was it a little tough at first?
I would say definitely not an easy experience.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that, especially in New York basketball, in Buffalo, where you either play some guys that are fairly very good, or you play some guys that aren't really D1 competition. So
Mm-hmm.
so with some nights I go out and I play against, like I said, Devontae Gaines, who's from my city, and we play each other. And he's, like I said, at UT.
Mm-hmm.
So I play guys like that, or I might play guys that are going to like a D3 school who are very good players, but it's just tough to get that exposure up there. And then I would say playing AAU probably helped the most
Mhm.
because guys from Buffalo, New York, we're not really exposed to high level players like that.
Mhm.
So going across the country, going to Vegas, going to Atlanta, just wherever to go play high level guys like that, it shows you the world that we really live in, and it
Mhm.
expands your bubble.
For sure.
So that probably helped me. I would definitely say that helped me the most. But even then, using that experience and then coming into college, you're playing some guys that are extremely high level. Like
Mhm.
so compared to the guys at AAU, it's like you might play one or two on a team. Here, all these guys have scholarships, so
Mhm.
you're playing guys that are very good and they know exactly what they're very good at, and they can definitely pick on you if you don't know what
Mhm.
you're doing out there. You get a little lost. So I definitely wouldn't say it was easy, but throughout just high school and continuing to pick up on those guys that I'm playing against and learning a little from them and just continue to keep my eyes open and not get tunnel vision on
Mhm.
playing lower competition. That has helped me, I would say, the most.
Oh yeah, I mean, you look at it and it's kind of I see that AAU is kind of a really good, you know, a preparation step for college, I'll say, because you do get that experience of one, playing with the high level talent, and then two, traveling around, playing in different parts of the country. And that kind of gets you used to that, college grind a little bit of traveling all the time, having to play in between, balancing everything as well. So I definitely think that has served you well, I'm sure. And it's definitely kind of a step that I've talked to a lot of guys. It's a step that a lot of guys usually do take now, with the AAU high school
Right.
combination. So it's definitely pretty common, and I think it's definitely kind of improved the game and whatnot. And you get to college basketball here. I mean, do you kind of remember your first memory of college basketball, and if so, what was it?
It would have to be either going. It would definitely be going down to the Bahamas for
Hmm.
our Thanksgiving tournament where we played with Virginia. That was the year they won national championship, and
Hmm.
then I kind of had my first um, coming out game, quote unquote,
Hmm.
against Stanford, where I had my first game in double figures. I had 13 points and played just really well. That was definitely my first experience where I was like, this is like really fun. I mean,
Hmm.
playing against Virginia, there we got I forget his name right now, but Kyle Guy, he's running off of screens
Oh,
into
yep.
Ty Jerome and those guys, seeing those guys up in person, and then you go to see those guys win a national championship. And there was a lot of really good players down there in Bahamas, but I would
Hmm.
say that was my first like I'm really here now
Yeah.
experience.
And I mean, that's kind of a tough start too. I mean, you got to play teams like that, kind of thrown into the thick of things. And I have to ask you, I mean, how was the Bahamas just in general? I mean, I've never been down there. I mean, how's the weather down there? How's the atmosphere?
Oh man, it's definitely something that you want to go back and see again.
Hmm.
Had a lot of fun down there with my guys. I mean, obviously we didn't get the result that we wanted in the games,
Hmm.
but just being together as a team and us just all having that experience, I definitely wouldn't trade. Like I said, I definitely hope to go back.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad place to be at all. Like the Bahamas, I mean,
Not at all.
especially right around basketball season too. I'm not.
Right.
How's the weather in Tennessee right around basketball season? Is it relatively warm or relatively cold?
So right around basketball season. So for me, since it's like fall time,
Hmm.
fall time for me, it's about to start snowing. But here in Tennessee, it's like 50, 40 degrees, not even 40
Oh,
degrees.
that's
So
nothing.
I'm
That's nothing.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
nothing.
I'm loving all of it. So,
Yeah, that's nothing
but
right there.
guys down here, they start saying it's getting cold, and they start throwing their winter coats. I'm just throwing on hoodies. So I like it
Exactly.
a lot down
Yeah, 'cause I know you're from New York. We're based up in Massachusetts, so I understand where you're coming from right there.
here. Oh
You
yeah,
know,
you know.
yeah, that's sweatshirt. That's like the perfect weather right there. That's sweatshirt
Exactly.
weather. Not too cold at all. So, but yeah, I mean that must have been a great experience going down to play in the Bahamas. I can only imagine just how that atmosphere is, especially when you're playing high competition and stuff. Probably a pretty good experience, early on in your college career, really get you going. I know another place where you guys have great atmosphere, your home arena. I mean, your numbers have been really good at home. So what's it kind of like, playing in that atmosphere? How are home games? How's the Middle Tennessee community been in your time there?
It's definitely been fun. I mean, those guys they come out. We have a really good fan base. They come out and support us every
Hmm.
night. You see the same faces every night, and it's a very family experience. And just we come down, we greet them after the games, and just tell them thanks for coming to the game, and they're always excited to see us and dap us up and everything. So it's definitely fun. Um, definitely want to put a couple more wins up this year just to give them a little bit something more to cheer for.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had a lot of fun. I mean, between playing here against St. Bonaventure, that was a real fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Playing here against Marshall West and playing Western here last year, definitely all been fun games for me. Like I said, just want to keep on giving them something to cheer for, and just keep on giving them something to come out for.
No doubt about it. And I know, as we've kind of mentioned, you are from New York. Um, Middle Tennessee, you just kind of talked about a little bit. Great home atmosphere and stuff. What kind of really had you choose Middle Tennessee? I mean, can you walk us through, how you kind of got introduced to the school, how your visit was, and how you ultimately ended up there?
Yeah. So I had decommitted from Wagner, and then the
Mm-hmm.
next weekend I go down to Atlanta for the UA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And Middle Tennessee, their new coaching staff, Coach Wes Long, he was here. He was
Mm-hmm.
not here. He was there at the facility. He came and saw me, came and watched me 2 games, and then he calls me like literally as soon as I get home. Hey, we want to offer you. We really like your game, and we want you to come down for a visit. Now, this is my first time really going on a basketball visit, and because for football, I really just had Wagner that was interested in me, so had
Mm-hmm.
been down there a couple times, which was nice. But for basketball, I was getting a couple more looks. So, but Middle Tennessee was the first team to go. Hey, we want you to come down like right away, see everything, and just get our hands on you basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so I come down, me and my dad kind of looked at each other on the last day of the visit and basically said like it's tough to say that it gets much better than this.
Mm-hmm.
And I had committed here before our last tournament, and it's been nothing but love ever since. And especially for guys like me, especially in Buffalo, New York, like not many guys either one get the opportunity to stay up there or get the opportunity to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely once you get a chance to leave, it's kind of tough to turn that down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely a part of why I made my decision, just to get away from home a little bit, and it's tough to take away from 50-degree winter. So
Oh, I hear you. That must be nice. That must be nice.
right,
I made the wrong decision. I went to college in Wisconsin, so
okay,
it got even colder up there.
right,
So I should have went down south a little bit, but I can't really complain, I guess. So we're in summer now. Gotta enjoy it while we have it. Even though not the summer we had kind of hoped for with everything going on, but
right.
the warm weather's here. We got it. We're good there. And I mean, it sounds like once you kind of got to Middle Tennessee, it was kind of the perfect fit for you. I'm sure that was really nice just to have that feeling of comfort, just kind of knowing where you want to go right out of the gate. Because college decision, I mean, it's tough. I mean, there's so many colleges out there. It's tough to kind of find a place that fits perfectly for you. And I know it's shown in your first 2 years here. You're headed into your junior season. You're going to be an upperclassman now. So what are you kind of looking forward to this year? Do you have any kind of goals for yourself or the team as a whole as you enter, this season as an upperclassman?
Extremely excited for this year. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
guys that we have coming in, the guys that had to sit out last year, it's gonna. I truly believe it's gonna be a really, really fun season for us.
Mm-hmm.
As far as me personally, just continue to keep building myself, building my game. I'm really excited with how I've been working in this off season, how I've been taking advantage of us being in quarantine, and the things I've been working on have been really fun for me. I'll be excited to put it out there when I'm with my guys. And like I said, excitement is really just
Mm-hmm.
the word I could say for this coming up season, because I know the guys are excited to all come back and be back together. And we've been talking a whole bunch about just getting ready and getting back on the floor with each other, and just like I said, having fun and playing with some more fun last year. I feel like the last 2 years we played a little tense.
Mm-hmm.
So that would definitely be something I'm ready for.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, everyone's kind of ready for college basketball to get back, just from like a
Yes, man.
fan perspective. So I can only imagine how you guys kind of feel. I'm sure you're anxious to get back out there on the floor. I know everyone's season just kind of thrown for a loop last year. So brand new season, brand new slate. Hoping it gets started on time. But it should definitely be fun. Looking forward to see what you guys do this year. I know I always like to end the interview on a couple questions. First one is a pretty fun one. Second one, you might have thought about it, you might have not. We'll get there though. First question for you though, I mean, if you could have lunch with any NBA player, who would it be and why?
Mm. Now, if I wanted to be, it depends, because if I want to be like, I want to get some knowledge, really, I would say LeBron, just because of the
Mm-hmm.
business mind he has and the guy that he is.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'd have to say James Harden, because that's my guy. I think he'd be fun, be a fun guy to spend some time with,
There you go.
and I think he just would be a lot of fun to sit down with.
I think so too. I've seen a lot of videos of James Harden out in public, and
Exactly.
he seems like a pretty funny guy, honestly, and he interacts with
Right.
people. So I think that'd be a pretty good choice right there. And not even to mention the talent too, the talent that James Harden
Right.
has. I mean
Right.
that's something you also got to look at too.
Get
So
to pick his brain would be very fun.
oh, exactly. I mean, I always think about it. If that OKC team stuck together, I mean, I don't think they'd have the money to stick together, but that'd be
They
amazing.
could at least got two or three championships before it really had to break down.
No doubt about it. It was. I always forget that OKC team was together too. You look at it, but that's you
Right.
know three of the
It'll be a
best.
great 30 for 30 one of these days.
Oh my God, it'd be a great 30 for 30. Three of the best players in the league right there, in KD, Westbrook, and James Harden. And then I know they had Ibaka too, so it was like,
Exactly. They had three MVPs, and then Ibaka being a world champion now and defensive player of the year. I'm pretty sure he won
hmm
a couple times. So just imagine if they all would stay together.
that would be crazy. But yeah, James Harden, a really good choice right there. You could definitely pick his mind a lot about those OKC days, a lot about those Houston days, his MVP. I mean, you could just go on for hours and hours. And hopefully he'd pay too. I mean, you get a free lunch out of it. He better be
No,
buying.
he's one of those top contract guys in the league. I would hope so. He takes it.
Exactly. He better be buying, I'll tell you what. But to close up here, I mean, I want to ask you, this is kind of a tough question. You might have not thought about it before. Take your time with it here because I know it is a tough question, but if you could kind of describe what basketball has meant to you in one word, what would that word be? Or a phrase. I'll give you a little bit of leeway here. Word or phrase, how would you kind of describe basketball?
Word or phrase? That's a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just, I think just for a word, I'll probably just amazing, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of amazing for me personally, I mean, my story alone, just getting the chances that I kind of got,
Mm-hmm.
is just kind of an amazing story. I get told that a bunch, that people tell me just like what happened to you was just kind of crazy, that
Mm-hmm.
it kind of all just kind of culminated all like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say from a perspective of watching guys and picking up on just real little things that could, a couple feet work, like just the little things, I would say just put all that together. I just would say amazing. I mean, I'm watching Joe Johnson highlights last night and watch him playing the TBT, and just
Mm-hmm.
to see a guy that's 40 years old and he's still moving like he could go out on the NBA court and go and give guys at least 20 points. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing right there. So
Yeah.
I would definitely just go with amazing. I mean, it's been very fun for me. I've had a lot of fun playing here, playing throughout my life, and hopefully to continue to keep on playing barring any injuries or anything like that. So I'll definitely just go with amazing.
I think that's a great way to describe it, and especially with your kind of career path. I mean, everything just seemed to kind of fall into place nicely. Um,
Right.
I want to say, congrats on a great first 2 years here, with Middle Tennessee. Wishing you nothing but the best of luck this upcoming season. Hopefully you guys, get started on time. I'm hoping you guys have as normal a schedule as possible. Hope you get all your games in and, hopefully just everything is as safe as possible out there. I mean, that's the main thing. Hopefully you guys are staying safe, healthy, and best of luck with everything. But, I mean, Jayce Johnson, thanks so much for joining us here on the site today. Great talking with you. Love learning a little bit about your career, on and off the court here, and we'd always love to have you on again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Had a lot of
Nope,
fun.
no problem at all. I mean, we'll put your Twitter right down below, so people can follow your career journey here in Middle Tennessee and beyond. And then we'll also put a link to Middle Tennessee's website, their basketball website, so you guys can go follow for news and updates throughout the season and beyond. But guys, thanks so much for joining us here on Edge Sports Network for another interview. We hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. And as always, we'll see you guys next time.